Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today the plan on the No Hope estate is to actually go into the Farmstead Plus. There was no trinkets that I really had wanted around anywhere in the estate. The closest one was kind of this Heaven's Hairpin, however I didn't really want to go into a long, not with the crew I had available to me. I could make it work, but the longs are just really iffy to me. Either they're really sketchy, and I get by the skin of my teeth. They don't work at all, or if I get really lucky, they work. But then I thought there's a lot of stuff in the Nomad Wagon that I would really like to get. A lot of really good trinkets are here. I was actually looking, and there's a lot of them I actually can't use that I normally would grab, but there's still some really good ones here. So I thought, well, there's nothing here that I want, and I would really like to save some of these bosses for when they have a good trinket, and I would like to maybe try Farmstead Plus. Let's start working on that and go get some shards. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, Farmstead Plus has been changed a little bit, so hopefully everything goes all right. We will be bringing all of the laudanum so that I can get the comet shards, and that's going to be the plan. The group today is actually going to be a little bit interesting because I don't think I've used the abomination since we've started this, and I've actually been really looking forward to this because the skin I have for them. It's actually the Raven Abomination, but otherwise it's the base vanilla Abomination. I just had to make some personal edits to them. So Transform no longer heals, otherwise it does everything it normally does. Manacles no longer stuns, and Absolution no longer stress heals or heals. Other than that, I think everything is the same as the normal vanilla version of the game. So those were edits I had to do to make the Abomination playable, because if you remember the rules for the estate, the No Hope, you can't battle heal, you can't stress heal, and you can't stun in combat, and that would leave the Abomination doing Beast Bile. That's all they could do, because Transform would heal, so that locks them completely out of Beast form. Can't go into Beast form unless you do it at full health, would be my thing there. You can't use Manacles because it stuns, unless you're using it on something you absolutely can't stun, I suppose. And then you couldn't use Absolution, leaving them with Beast Bile. But we will be using them in the beast form today, which will be fun. We got a fun new skin for that. We have the solar bracer on them because in the Farmstead, light is always at 100, so we have +1 speed, +5 crit, and then we have the accuracy stone, so they just have a +5 accuracy. We have Ghost, the vessel. We're going to have Nail Strike on them to move forward, Piercing Slash to do armor piercing, higher damage, move back, Crippling Lunge to bypass guard if I'm ever in rank 2 or 3 or 4 and move forward. Also lowering dodge. We have the Wayward Compass on them for plus crit and scouting chance, and the Gathering Swarm to get gold on kill. Baristan was another one that I had to do a little bit of edits on, the mana arms. So Rampart no longer stuns, and I think that was actually it for him, but we won't be using Rampart today. I have a little bit of a silly plan. I'm not sure it's actually going to work, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to actually trade the trinkets around here. So I'm going to explain the trinkets here first, just so everyone can kind of understand what I'm thinking. So we have Maciac's Head first, so plus debuff chance, so we'll be using Bellow, so minus dodge, minus speed, plus crits received while they're marked. Usually just using this for the minus dodge, minus speed, so that goes up to 135% chance of working. And then on attack hit, debuff target to have -8 dodge while they're blighted, so instead of having a -5, they'll have a -13 dodge, which is huge in Apprentice. But then we have the Poisoned Skull on them. On attack hit, 1 blight for 3 rounds. If I'm using Bellow, I should be blighting all of them, right? Because it's on attack hit. Am I right in that thinking? And then because I'm blighting them, they should have that minus dodge from Maciac's Head. And if that doesn't work, I'll put the Poison Skull on the Abomination. But that thinking works, right? And then after we do Bellow, we'll be using like Retribution for the riposte, things like that. We have Command if I need a higher accuracy. We have Bolster if I want a dodge and minus stress received on us. And then just to finish things off, we have Montgomery, our Kunarian that absolutely survived things they should not have, mainly just using invigorating vapors and flash powder to lower accuracy, upping our dodge, aggression tactics for a trinket, getting them monsters surprised more, and bag of marbles upping her dodge more. So let's go and get some comet shards, see what shenanigans this group does, see how much gold I get. I have no idea what this group is going to do. I'm kind of excited for it, and at the same time I'm a little scared it's actually just going to flop. And of course, we step on a trap first.
Curious is the trap maker's
I did not take medicinal herbs, so we just have a random attack chance for one battle now. But we will be using a rake, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so transform. Raven. I really like this skin. That's the whole reason I went with this one. And then, like I said, rake and get plus 15% damage for rake. I like the AoE part of that. Then we're going to be doing nail strike. We're going to hit the crystal vine. It's almost down. Up our dodge.
The blood quickens.
And old man yells at clouds and poisons them. It works! It works! Owie. Owie. Okay, that really hurts. Okay, we do have or everything for that, so alright, rake again. This should take everything out there. I thought. Crofter goes down, so we can just take this Crofter out. Minimize some damage coming at us. Nail strike on Vine.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Up dodge.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And you missed. Get rid of Blight. Up dodge. Hit Taskmaster. Why is she... Is that just because of the horror? No, that was 11 stress for, like, something else. I didn't think her being in beast form would do that much. Okay, do not tell me that those are gonna explode right now. Okay. It's a little concerned there.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
And then they just go away because of Taskmaster. Gotcha. 12 Comet Shards, yay! Evil Eye Charm.
Triumphant pride precipitates.
Now that has its uses, specifically if I have the Observed or Stalked quirk. So plus, because that's the only way you're fighting Beholders. So you get 25% damage versus Beholders. So if you're looking for the boss, you get huge damage versus them, and plus 40% damage reflection versus them. That was a really bad first fight. I am in bad shape. Now, I can actually get some food in here to heal up off of. Like so. Okay. And this is Comet Shards. I thought it was going to be Comet Shards. It was Trinket, and because of Minor Antique. We'll go down to the fight so we can get to the treasure room, because I would really like the treasure. Oh, Frozen Crofter. I thought that was something else for a minute. I'm like, that's new? No, it's not. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna rage and we're gonna hit the messenger and hope to take it out. There we go. And up dodge.
Inspiration and improvement.
Piercing strike, take out Vine.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Old man yells at clouds. Somehow poisons them. That's all the dodge on the Crofter down, and they have all the minus speed, so they do go last now. Rage onto Crofter. Crofter down. Piercing slash on Frozen Crofter. Does have a little bit of protection here, so we will have to bite through that. I'm thinking if I... Oh, Retribution can only do up to 2. Oh well. Crit for 3, then Blight, it goes down. Cool. I was not expecting that, Bears, and that's great. And then Rare Antique. Amazing. And then we can take the gold, leave the citrine. 2 for 2, so he takes 4. He still stays at 20 health. I'm fine with that. Going down to Treasure Room. Dig through this. Somehow shovels get through that big crystal. Alright, you know what? We're gonna Lacerating Cyclone them. Get them bleeding. And then, since that Crofter bleeds out, we're just gonna hit the Taskmaster. I know I should up our dodge, but whatever. And since she's gonna get afflicted anyway. Taskmaster.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
And then bellow at them. Somehow we missed with yelling at them. Maybe he just didn't hear it. That would be my guess. Nail Strike, let's hit the Vine. Vine goes down to Blight now. Rage at the Crofter that's left, because that's the only thing that's going to have health. Montgomery is going to need a little help, so that's going to be our last Anti-Venom. Can't get more
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
Food now, I'm assuming, but that's going to be fine. And then we'll Retribution hit the Taskmaster, or miss. Just swing very menacingly.
Slowly, gently. This
I thought he was going to go down to everything. Retribution does the job, though.
As the fiend falls,
We're going to eat that food on Bear's Dawn. Take what we can. Anti takes key to locked cabinet. Why was there food in the cabinet? Like this kind of a desk cabinet. I'd understand it if it was like a big thing, but no, it's just that. Like you'd expect deeds or something in there, maybe a portrait. And I can get out of here now just because you don't have to explore too much in the farmstead. They really reeled back how much you have to explore in here. So I will probably just keep going on, but... Oh, that's an interesting art for the Paranoid. Half beast, half not. To the left, and then we'll go down. We'll get as far as we can, just because I want the combat shards. We have 18. I think the thing I was looking at was like 60 for the bowmen at least. The victim's descendant. I think he's new. Is his foot coming out of his shoulder? Hey, focused.
A moment of clarity in the eye of the storm.
Alright, rage. Messenger. Kind of surprised it didn't go down. We're gonna lacerating cyclone the crofter, because then we hit the descendant who's in stealth. I'm not sure what it's gonna do, but I don't want to wait around for the 2 stealthed rounds to start doing damage to it. Up our dodge. We're not gonna get Big B there. Accuracy and crit, cool. Not on someone who's going to take advantage of it too much, but blighting all of them. Shadow out of time. And it missed, so I don't know what it does. Oh wait, is that a second head right there on its shoulder? I can't really tell because of stealth right now, but... And it's going to go before I figure that out. Messenger goes down, so let's just focus Taskmaster. Nail Strike. It's got 12 health left, wow. They are tanky bunches. Nice little buff there on Ghost for next round. Got our riposte up. Didn't hit the right target, so we are hurting bad. Getting rid of the bleed. And then if we rage, I was hoping to take it out, but rage is a slightly lower accuracy at least, so it makes sense. Alright, taking what we can.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
You know what, we will eat this food on Bigby. Then torch for the accuracy, get rid of the torch for the jade. The survival guide, I'm just gonna leave. Bigby can Ladonum the scarecrow there. Hopefully it's shards. It's not much, but it's something. We have 1 food check worth of food left. I'm gonna go dig through this. We most likely will not be fighting something in the hallway, so I'm not too concerned about that. If I remember right, you need a anti-venom for this, but okay, that does nothing. Shovel will like blight you or something, so I'm not going to use that. I just don't remember what it does. Now, what would be nice if we find the little apparatus that does the remove quirk, but I'm not going to bank on it. Alright, we're going to rage, we're going to hit the vine. Because that vine stuns. And it hit the person who can up our dodge. That's not great. I also want these eggs gone. The eggs make the chickens, and I don't like the chickens. Lower their speed, lower their dodge. The only person that has the dodge is the crofter, but we can still lower their speeds, which the vine had.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
I rake. I probably take out the vine between the damage and the blights I'm about to do. Nail strike hitting Crofter. And then everything on Frozen Crofter. Because then when I bellow again, the blights take him out. Or maybe not on the Crofter, because it resisted. Okay, let's see how this goes. The piercing slash, we take out Crofter. The frozen Crofter, because it wanted that protection down. They go down pretty easily, because 1 health. Just gotta wait for them to go, essentially. And vine away. Using torch for accuracy, then taking what we can. We got another full gold stack there. Did we scout at all? We did not. So what we can do is get rid of the shovel for the gold. I didn't see that I was out of keys. We'll still try to open it. Taking what we can, leaving the bandage. Into the last room. And that is anti-venom. And then we can use this to get more comet shards, which we got 6. So grand total of 39, which is pretty nice for a short run. Considering that's all I went in there for, I was not expecting much else. 16,000 gold is great. And the Warren grade book and then all the other heirlooms are pretty cool. Now, Big B and Bearstun were level 0, so the fact that they hit level 1 is awesome. Demomania and Weak Grip on Life need to go, especially on this estate. The Weak Grip on Life is really bad. Fading is not great either, but we can at least live with it.
In truth, I cannot tell how much time has passed since I sent that letter.
But Demomania, Weak Grip on Life. Then we go here. There's someone else last time that... Oh, you can't. We'll do this. Okay. Then diggers can hang out. I think I would really like a bowman at this point in time, but that's not going to happen for a little while, I think. What might help out is getting the experienced recruits. And then nothing. Do I have a Blight Amulet? I do not have a Blight Amulet. Blight Amulet is good, especially considering some of the heroes I have. Plus Blight Amount for 6,000 gold. Yes, please. Okay. So the fact that I just went into Farmstead, let's double check if anything here looks good. So I was really hoping I had a few classes that I don't have. But that being said, I'm going to go fight the Inchoate Flesh with what we have. Shouldn't be horrible. I think we can make it work. So plan is that I want to go get the Eldritch Slayer's Ring here. It has its very nice uses. Immediately, it's very good in the Cove. It also has uses, if I don't plan on equipping it against anything that's not in the Cove for a while, but it would also be good against the Shambler and the Collector. Those are the 2 immediate uses. There's also some stuff just shuffled about everywhere, but if I'm not expecting to fight something that's Eldritch, and I would have to look up where a few other things are that were like bosses are, I'm not going to be equipping it. but long game, a lot of the stuff in the Darkest Dungeon is eldritch. So this is just a 25% damage buff if I can keep it for anything in the Darkest Dungeon as well. So it might be a good thing to keep on hand for that. So I think it's a good thing to keep. So let's go get that. It also gets me some portraits and crests that I'm going to need. So might be a little bit of a heirloom run as well, because I really need crests, I need deeds, I need portraits, I need buffs, I need everything. So that'll be the plan. We have a really good bleeding team actually here. So we have Boyvin, our Hellion here. She's going to be using Bleed Out, just annihilating anything in the front row. If it bleeds, if I need to hit 2 or 3. Breakthrough if I need to get her back in place. Adrenaline Rush to cure her bleed and blight. We have the Bleed Amulet to up the bleed and mount she does. So Bleed Out, and if it bleeds, we'll be doing a lot more bleed damage. And we have the Beast Slayer Ring, because everything in here should count as a beast. Actually, it did just dawn on me that the flesh counts as a eldritch, so this just helps getting to the boss, but realistically, if you look at the trinkets I have right now, there aren't too many other trinkets I could give her that are gonna help a lot in this case, other than just giving her like maybe health. Solar Bracer would give her a little bit of extra crit and speed, but I'm just gonna help her get there along the way, I think. We then have Ferreres, I think it is, the Saw Hunter that we've been having, mainly using Bloodletting Teeth to bleed, into the wound to do damage versus bleeding, and Serrated Knife to bleed the back 2 rows. We have Bloodshot Eyeball to give him accuracy, ignore stealth, and have accuracy versus stealth, and we have the Stone Clam Shell Shield to give him the protection, knockback on being hit, and the accuracy and the crit debuff on anything that hits him. We have a different Prefect, not Vigo. Remember, I have been stocking up on a few heroes just because we have had so many casualties. Mainly because I wanted someone that would have Implode because of all of the bleeding we would be doing. So he's going to be doing the Implode on Viville, our Duchess, because I have a few plans for her. TikTok to up crit and speed, that's going to be going on Boyvin, and otherwise he's just going to be doing Disrupt to do some damage, or Enshroud to cure bleed and blight and clear marked. We have aggression tactics to make getting to the boss easier, and then I just threw the captain's bottle on him so that he has the disease cap, so he's almost immune to diseases. Then finally we have Viville, our Duchess, you know, the one that hasn't died, because otherwise it would be Carmine. So she's mainly going to be using Crimson Downpour to up the bleed amount everyone receives and do a bit of bleeding damage herself on the back 3 rows, and then trade Thirst for Power every other turn in because Crimson Downpour has a cooldown. So Thirst for Power does versus bleeding or on bleed will up the damage she does and up the protection she has, and then do bleeding as well. But then because I'm gonna be doing Implode on her, I figured I would be throwing on the Poisoned Skull. This also gives her a blight, so I'll be doubling the blight amount it does, and then she gets plus crit and plus damage versus anything that's blighted on subsequent turns. We then have Maciek's Head to up the debuff chance that we have on the Crimson Downpour, upping it to 155% base to up the bleed amount received, and then on attack hit, debuff the target for -8 dodge while they are blighted. So she gets some really nasty stuff going once she gets started, and once Vigo kind of buffs her. So let's see if this works out. It's only going to be a TPK if it doesn't. I know it can blight us, so I'm bringing antivenoms. We can be bled, so we're bringing bandages. There's going to be debuffs along the way, and curios, so I'm bringing medicinal herbs. Might be a secret door. Definitely want holy waters, and we're going to want torches.
My zeal for blood rituals and summoning rites had begun to ebb, as each attempt invariably brought only failure and disappointment. Progress was halting, and the rapidly accumulating surplus of wasted flesh had become burdensome. The thing is more terrible than I can describe.
So
an incoherent jumble of organ, sinew, and bone.
And let's see what's in here.
A
Torchy torch.
waiting to be spent.
Was not expecting my first fight to be on cultists, but, you know, it is what it is. Maybe they're worshipping the flesh boss there.
growing uncertainty.
Boyven, can you take out the brawler, please?
Place of
Bleed
dread.
probably does. We did not bleed. We are going to Monstrous Affliction so we can bleed the back rows and blight them. Hit them all, got them all, debuffed them all, bladed them all. Love it. We can take the 2 damage. Take out Brawler.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Okay, I was like, what disease did you just resist? No, he was getting the hunter's illness. Okay. If it bleeds, let's go the Madman, because the Brawler already goes away.
Death by inches.
And then this fight's pretty much done already. They just bleed out. Gonna use that torch. Serrated knives just because I can. I never actually really looked at the serrated knives from the animation. Those knives are really intricate that he's throwing. Those are really cool. Thirst for power, just for the funny bleeds. 14 and 4. I think I win.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay, we have a key for this. And I can't take anything. What we can do is use this food. Take the portrait. Gonna get rid of the claw amulet for the crests. Then I know the jades are worth a little more than the gold, so we'll do that. And continue on along. Now that's only 1 damage, so I'm not going to bother getting rid of it. This, however, is horrible. Back by 2. Breakthrough. No, you don't. Your bleeding's done. If I move forward by 2, I can do the thing with Vavil here. Crimson Downpour. I at least blight the Spine Eater, if not bleed all of them. So Skulker goes down. Bloodstarved Leech goes down on next turn. So it doesn't transfer the bleed or the blight anymore. I may need to heal, or not heal, bandage Vavil there. That's probably a stun. We resisted this stun, which is great. Bandaging. Thirst for power. We're gonna hit the... Actually, Noble Obligation pulling Spine Eater. At least we got the debuffs on it. Bloodletting Teeth, hitting Chopper. Tick-tock on Vavil. Actually, no, on Boyven. I got a stupid plan. And then implode on Vavil. So double blight.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life
Breakthrough.
is
Move forward. Just you left, Spine Eater. Which this is gonna hurt. I got the Aegis because of the thing. Lovely. Well, if it bleeds, get rid of the Aegis. We crit, so there's that. I guess Disrupt. And then Thirst for Power. And now we can do this. Gets rid of it.
Give them
Okay.
no quarter.
Take what we can. Use food on Vil. Leave citrines. We already are in default party order, aren't we? No, we're not. Alright, see where the boss is. So I'm going to do the boss. Then I'm going to go do everything else. Take the torch. Leave the rest. Kinda tempted to camp here. Yeah, we'll camp after this fight, just to make sure we're full on health. Alright. Tick-tock. Boyven, just so we can do double bleed out onto Bloodletter. Then implode on Vavil, so we can do double everything. Affliction. Crimson Downpour, up bleeding received. Ooh, we missed on these two. Did get everything on the Bloodletter though, which is good. Serrated Knife on these two, get them bleeding. See, Intricate Knife. Bleed out Bloodletter. Bleeding for 12, blighted for 2. That hurt. I guess he is called Crackshot. The fire hurt less. Also, that's for one battle. Wow. Fire damage.
A victory. Perhaps the turning point.
Disrupt, hitting Firemouth. Then we can get Crackshot.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Ooh. Well, I said I was going to do the firewood anyway. Then we can take the emerald.
A moment of rest.
Feast for the stress.
A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Use the food I can. Take the... Actually, that's rather worthless trinket for the half-foot on this estate. Actually, I can heal from food. So no, it's not. And then we'll leave that stuff. Gonna prevent the nighttime ambush. Not that the... You know, do I really need to? I don't got too much else to do, actually. I was gonna say, do I really need to? But I don't have much else I can do. So prevent nighttime ambush. Minus party surprise chance for a few battles. Then we can get self-care. Minus stress on self for Vavil. That's actually kind of big, so I do not want her going ravenous. Then encourage her. She can encourage the Prefect, and then I have 3 left? Did that say? So... Just debating if I want to do encourage for some more stress down, or if I want to produce a gold star for the... You know what? Let's produce the gold star. Just because... It's also virtue chance. For the entire quest. On top of the resolve experience.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Then I can come back to this room when I go up for these things to get a heal. I think that's the better plan. Yeah, there's a lot of food I can use then. Okay, cool.
Squirming,
I love all the
contorting, and
custom
ever-expanding. This
things they did
horror
for
must be unmade.
all the bosses. Look at that heart back there. It really makes this room look like, this room in particular, look like it's all the flesh, and then this is the flesh boss, like just coagulated into it. Okay, so TikTok, like I said, onto Boyden. Implode onto Vavil. Our Prefect may be stunned, so good thing we did that already. I'm going to do If It Bleeds onto the Inchoate flesh, because we're not getting as much damage onto the spine here. So we're going to hit the heart. I think that's a heart. That might be intestines. So into the wound would do up to 18. Or I can hit these two and start bleeding them, doing a 3 for 3 bleed. That might be the bigger thing to do right now. Yeah. I'm going to bank on that bleed damage. And then we Monstrous Affliction, Crimson Downpour. I get the bleed and the blight off on them. So that's going to do 2 blight and 6 bleed on each of them, if it hits both. So that's, what, 8 damage on each of them for each of their actions. No stun on Boyven. That's a lot of hearts. Okay. Bleed out. Flesh. Thirst for Power on one that's gotten the debuff, so it takes more bleeding damage. Bleeding for 17. Blighted for 4. You're not healing for enough there. Just telling you that now. Bandaging that. Serrated Knife. Up bleed received. Or just up bleed, I guess, but 21, 14. I think it's going down. Just a thought. Crimson Downpour. More bleed, more blight. Serrated Knife, more bleeding. Bandaging. Bleeding. And survey says let out.
As grotesque in death as it was in life. Success.
That wasn't bad at all. Okay.
Or is it merely a trick of
So I'm gonna leave these despite needing the blood. You know what? I need the blood for people in the Hamlet. I'm gonna continue adventuring. How do I want to do this? Let's grab this food. Healing Boyven first. Then let's go for the Saw Hunter. We'll leave this stuff. Gonna grab the invitation. I even forgot to use the holy waters, so we'll probably dump these. Implode on Vavil. TikTok on Boyven, so she goes fast. Oh, I should have done that opposite order. That's fine. Yeah, we resisted the move that was about to be bad. Supplicant goes down. It does bleed out. We are going to Bloodletting Teeth the Messenger. I think Messenger bleeds out once I do my Crimson Downpour, yeah. So if I even do 1 damage to it, it goes down. Then we just have Sycophants left.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Which are a problem. They're annoying as hell. Because of that heal. I do have the opportunity to get this one down, so it bleeds out just this one left. And then we can thirst for power getting it down, so this fight's over. It did want that Surge Protector, so we are taking that. Gonna take the blood. If there's a secret room, it's gonna be over here. But I'm not sure the keys are worth taking. Gonna get rid of that Golden Kingdom Ale. It's not worth much to me, if I'm being totally honest. I can get rid of the shovels. Those are safe to get rid of. And we'll just continue with that. Then this room should give me more food.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
So almost a full heal there on the Prefect. Boyven is pretty good, and then Saw Hunter's pretty good. One to go up to this curio, then we can head on back. Ooh, hey Scabby. That's not good. Please pull me. Yes, please, thank you. Boyven can go back. Not Boyven. The courier can go back. Hey, I just moved him. Bleed out on the chopper. I don't have consumables, right? That I need to use. You know what? Let's use the holy waters here. And then what's this? Plus stress? Nah. Alright, chopper down. No corpse for his Aegis. Then Monstrous Affliction, up bleed received.
Confusion.
Bleed him out a little bit. No blight. He does have a bit of a blight resistance, so that's fine. You get to go forward. What's your debuff, by the way? Plus stress. You're fine with that. Haha, you got debuffed. Then we can thirst for power, hit the drummer. Or not. I was thinking the drummer would go down to everything. Into the wound. I meant to click the drummer. I clicked too fast. TikTok Boyven, she goes faster. Implode on Vavil for a bleed received and blight. Bleed out onto Scabby Scab. Bleeding for 9. That hurt just a bit. Bleed out again. I think he goes down. Yeah, he bleeds out. So, drummer. Drummer goes away. Changing back just because of stress reasons. Thirst for power. Actually, no, it's noble obligation. We missed with the 90% chance.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless
taking what we can.
Sanguination be considered a virtue.
Bandaging up. Want the Scav Skull. So realistically, I'm just going to get rid of the key. I did mention wanting the busts, so realistically screw the holy waters. And just helping my brain think. I'm putting things together that go together. And mean, I don't need the torches. They're just nice. And they might get me quirks off. The one thing I could do is this. We'll use this right away.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried
I
home.
know this gets me a little more stressed doing it this way, but whatever. Then I'm going to go down to this battle, go down here, pop north for the curio quick before I pop down, go all the way down, then just circle around. Alright, let's see how this goes. So, tick-tock. Hellion goes faster. Implode. Duchess does more. I see the Shambler altar. I am super tempted, but I need to get people in better shape with, like, food or something.
But only rarely.
And I can't have that be happening. So if I can't find food, Shambler ain't happening. I guess I do have the 12 on me. Bleed out on the Carrion Eater, that's still up, he goes down. How much? 2 and 7, so 9. I would like that Sycophant down.
Annihilated.
So no Crimson Curse. Then just take out Carrion Eater, so bleed out. Not bleed out, into if it bleeds. Taking what we can.
Be wary.
Food goes to Saw Hunter. Leave the gold. Okay. So I can either go through the rest of this right now, or use all the food I have and see how this goes. Why do I think like this? Why do I think like this? Just shuffling people up a little bit because I am going to get shuffled when I spawn him.
A star spawned.
And that wasn't how I thought this would go, but okay, cool. So, Prefect can't do anything that I want him to do, moving back. That's going to be bad. We are going to do... How do I want to do this? Breakthrough. Now everyone's kind of where I need them.
Inspiration.
Crimson Downpour, up bleed, amount received. Didn't bleed, but we did blight and debuff. Into the wound, upping bleed. Did not bleed once again, really. Only got a 40% chance to resist. Yikes. Okay, so we do have anti-venoms. I will be using those. And we do need to take out the Clapper Claws. Because screw that stress. So tick-tock poison.
The will to fight.
Implode on Vavil. Thirst for power, this bleeds. Does a 3 bleed. No, I got a bit of a plan. Okay. So, just hit Shambler with the bleed. We got the bleed. It's bleeding for 7. And blighted. By Bloodletting Teeth, we might take out a Sycophant, so we're just going to do that. So 2 bleed. Yikes. And then if it bleeds, we can take out a Sycophant. And the bleed should take it out. It did not bleed once again. So anti-venom here. Vavil's thing is going to take out Sycophant 1. And so I'm just going to do if it bleeds onto the Shambler. This Sycophant goes down on its next turn.
Exposed to a killing
We're
blow.
really close to a heart attack, but that's fine. We're almost done. Gonna anti-venom. We're gonna enshroud. Getting rid of the blight on Vaville. Getting rid of the blight on the Saw Hunter.
Vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Come on, buddy. You're fine. You're fine. Into the wound on the Shambler. That only does up to 10. Otherwise, I bleed it for 3 with the up. Yeah, we'll bleed it. Crimson Downpour bleeding them. I'm really counting on this. Did not work, but still 19 damage is 19 damage.
Another abomination cleansed from our
I need to do 5 damage to the Shambler. So I'm gonna enshroud on the Saw Hunter so he doesn't bleed out. I guess we're not. Hitting the Shambler, we did 5 damage exactly. Bandaging, bleed out, Shambler down.
And now the true test. Hold fast. Or
Orville.
expire.
Heart attack. Ah, we tried.
It was a fever dream. If not for the corpses.
I did get the one trinket I really wanted from that fight. So there is very silver lining from that. Like, I don't think I need to fight a Shambler again. I believe the Shrieker has my candle. There are... I should preface that there are very, very good ancestor trinkets that are left. I'm not even going to list them all out. There are very good trinkets that are left. But I got the map. That is one of the best trinkets in my mind, so... yeah, we're going to leave it at that. I don't need to risk Shambler fights if I don't feel comfortable with them. I shouldn't have even done that one. But, hey! Also got the Eldritch Slayer ring. And another boss down. So, I mean... It doesn't feel like I took too much out of this fight, is the weird thing. I did get a few good trinkets. But it really doesn't feel like I took too much out of this, despite the fact that, like, I was wanting heirlooms and stuff. We did get a full stack of portraits. But then I didn't really bring back a full stack of anything else, and we didn't bring back too much gold or anything like that, other than getting the Eldritch Slayer ring. And I guess we did get the Ancestor map, so I mean, I can't say we didn't get too much. But for losing another hero that was slightly built up, that does not feel like it was necessarily worth it. Boyven did level up. She also got Demomania and On Guard. So plus speed, plus dodge on first round. I'll probably be locking that in. Ferreira's got Off Guard, which I'll be getting off, and the Worries. And then Yokai Slayer on the Prefect.
We dug for months,
Ooh.
years, an eternity. And we were rewarded with madness.
So back in the mines. In her subterranean travels beneath our lands, the gem hunter occasionally happens upon valuable materials other than gems. Long-lost alloys can always be reclaimed and reforged into something greater. Idle gem hunters gain 1 resolve level. free upgrades for armor and weapons. So I'm gonna go use that really quick. See if I can get a free level 3 here on someone. Thought I had that available, but I guess not. So I'm gonna take that on the White Priestess because they're really good. Got the Trophy Hunter, been waiting for them. I think I'm not sure if I had them on the estate, if I'm being totally honest. We have not had a Trophy Hunter, so unless I haven't used them, nope. So we have Rex now. And I mean, there's a lot of other heroes on the estate that haven't popped up. So I mean, we will be using a lot of people. They just need to pop up. Actually, before I forget, I should do the treatment stuff. So Boyvin got Demomania and On Guard. We're doing both of those. Ferrari's got Off Guard, getting rid of that. Stress treatment, and we'll do stress treatment on Bearstun as well. So I feel like I should probably get this gold stack up a little bit more so that the bank is doing a little more work for us. So I'll probably be leveling up some areas. We'll be doing that in the next run. In the next episode, we'll probably leveling up some of these areas and nabbing what little heirlooms I can, because we haven't done much of the wield the wield bosses. I think we still have a runes boss left, and then there's a lot of Farmstead stuff left, of course, too. So we'll see what we can do, pop off from there, and yeah, so that'll be the plan for next time. Maybe see what trinkets we can grab along the way and have some fun. So that'll be it for this time. As always, I wish you all well. I'll see you next time, and please have a good one.